All right, shalom, shalom. Step behind the camera, in case anybody come up watching.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, so behind the camera. To work the camera. So, go ahead and get it started, man. Well, the Israelites coming out here day in and day out, prophesy the downfall of America, known as Babylon, spiritual Egypt and Sodom. All those kingdoms, the last leg of Rome, an uprising of Israel, so-called people Latinos that are elected. Most High will say the hope for elect, so we're going to give all praises to you.
Oh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash.
Rakatah Yahweh, Rakatah Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops, great millstone, most salutations, brothers, word for the hope elect, so we be elect, Most High will. Most High will, and Tri spirits return back to the Most High, extended hope for elect, to the multitude, scattered in four corners. And we're gonna go ahead and get it started. Hopefully, this is edifying, man. We're gonna get from slavery to the MOTB. We've been talking about, we was just talking about that movie, Sinners, and I haven't watched it yet. Michael B. Jordan and all that, and just different stuff. Slave movies. I showed today is straight mockery, and really because they don't never show prophecy in there. They don't never show the whole full scale of our slavery, which they try to hide from Jake. Buck breaking, tar up on Negroes, postcards shared between them. After they burn the niggas, eating. Like, they might have been, hey, it's like niggas.
I've seen some angels, that show the images of them eating us because and the thing behind that is they thought they would gain power doing it. Because they knew that we were the children of the Most High.
Yeah, it's a book called God, God to glory. They was taking the Most High for them overtaking us. But they mentioned there was cannibalism. They was eating them for that reason.
And also, they also what is it called? Bibliology. It's a term used for relating to the when they was killing jakes and skinning them and making them crafting them into books and books
skins and coats and making skins and coats.
It was a term. I know that.
They did that too. They made coats and shoes out of Negro skins and all that. Chairs. I think they used Negro's hair for cushion of sofas and chairs and all that.
And they did that because they do that to animals today. They be having their heads hanging up in the house. They have fur coats.
Oh yeah,
all that stuff.
Yeah,
they was doing that to Jake. Man.
They used to cut put them in jars. Our hens put them in jars. That's the devil. All that diabolical BS. And like I said, you don't have to include butt breaking in your method of rulership to control people, man. So that's how diabolical these devils are, man. They'll try to hide it out and try to say, well, that was the past. We didn't do that. I'm talking about their children be saying, we didn't do that.
But we understand that in the scripture, slavery is justified, but Esau went overboard, man. And it ain't really way too much.
Yeah, it ain't really slavery. It's basically servitude is justified. You know what I'm saying? And I know what you mean. But when we have so-called, we have servants like Solomon had servants of his own people, and they got paid. They got treated well. They wasn't treated as bondmen. Actually, go to that street. I would not have my people as bondmen.
Basically, like Shamar said, it wasn't justified. What we're saying is that the fact that we sinned against the Lord is the reason why He allowed it to happen. But you know, it shouldn't have been taken that far. They should have just took us as slaves, just like you know, Javon is saying, like it shouldn't have been taken that far. Man. They poured the affliction. They went overboard, man.
All that debauchery shit and that sexual perversion shit ain't supposed to be a part of it.
That's not supposed to be a part of it.
Like the apostle elder said, when we have them in slavery, we ain't gonna be doing all that shit. It's gonna be straight follow the law, or you getting your ass dealt with, man.
Yeah.
You know, you commit adultery, idolatry. You know, you commit bestiality. Your ass gonna get dealt with
to death. You're gonna get stoned to death, or whatever kind of execution is fit for it. You know what I mean? You got Trump out here talking about he got the firing squad and public hangings. There's things that must happen. They talk about a man, if he gets hung, he's cursed. The Lord cursed that man.
Yeah, it says curse every man that hang up on the tree.
Hang up on the tree.
You know,
so we was under the curses, man.
Yeah.
This is what we see happening.
That's right.
What was that sworn as a Quan?
I will not have my servants as bondmen and bondwomen. It's King. It's in Solomon. It's the Songs of Solomon. Solomon said it, but it might be in Kings. I think it's in Kings. Esau thinking a joke, like Mosai forgot about it. He said, "We inquire of the past." And that slavery just happened according to Mosai 1,000 years is one day there. So that blood is fresh, like we always say. Y'all got it? Anybody got it?
I got it. First Kings 5. It said, "In my service shall be with thy servants, and until thee I give hire for thy servants." That's all I know.
It's specifically say, "I will not have my people as bondmen and bondwomen."
I mean, that's what I got on.
Solomon. It might be Kings.
I think he might have it. I'm gonna put
what you got out. You know, bondwomen, bondmen, bondmen, and bondwomen.
I know. There's one in Leviticus. You know, serving each other.
Yeah, that's yeah. It says something. Unless you go down, what is it? Say, I would not have my people as bondmen and bondwomen. Israel shall serve as they shall be my servants, not bondmen and bondwomen.
This one in Jeremiah, the 30th chapter, where it say they should not serve.
Coming up.
Yeah, but that was.
If you type in bondmen, one of those scriptures will pop up.
Yeah. Saying Leviticus.
Both
Jeremiah.
Leviticus 25:44. Leviticus 25:44.
No, it's not. What does 44 say?
It say both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou
this is Solomon speaking. Like, this is Solomon speaking out of his own mouth when he was ruling. So that's what I'm saying. It might be in Kings.
This is right here. It's in Jeremiah 30.
Go ahead and get it.
It said Jeremiah chapter 30.
Oh, here you go, right here.
What is it?
Yeah, First Kings 9:22. But of the children of Israel did Solomon make no bondmen, but they were men of war. Like, and if you go up,
I think that's what he had earlier. So I wasn't looking for it. That's what you had earlier?
No, I think it was second. I was out of here.
Let me go ahead and read this, and it says something else too. That he actually spoke, but he said, "But the children of Israel did Solomon make no bondmen, but they were men of war, and his servants, and his princes, and his captains, and rulers of his chariots and his horsemen." See, these were the chief of the officers that were Solomon's work, 550, and which bear rule over the people that wrought in the work. They were servants, not bondmen. So it's a difference.
You know, just like Ark was saying earlier, it's bondage. You know, being a servant is different. You had better pay because it talked about whenever your servant, you would increase your service. Whenever your wages go up, whenever you make a lot of money, you're supposed to make sure your servants make money too. You increase their wages. Okay, but a bondsman or bondswoman, their wages don't increase. That's why here a lot of the time you see these companies making millions of dollars, but we still making the same pay. And they might raise you up $1, 20 cents, but even $1, that's only $250 more a year. Every dollar you get raised, actually it's 25 cents. It's $250 a year more. So they raise you $1, that means that you're making only $1,000 more than what you're doing. You know,
and also bond is contractual.
Yeah,
you know. So basically, you contractual. Like it got a year. Correct me if I'm wrong, bro. The 7th year is this year of jubilee where all of them go free, and you give your increase to fair increase to those that work for you.
Yeah.
Some might choose to stay with you, and then you know what I'm saying. So
it's like you give them a bonus. That's what they do to the managers and stuff. Every year they give them a bonus, right? But just like Quan was saying, it's like a land Sabbath too. It goes with that. You know, you give back. It says to give more than they tend to receive. So if you're a leader, you're supposed to be following an example. And he saw even so-called white man's not doing that. He got us he just point out everything that we ain't doing right. But then when it comes to what he got to do right, there's nobody to hold him accountable except the Most High. That's why he's got to come back. You know?
Deuteronomy 28. We don't go to all the curses, but you know we gotta mention some of the main ones. Deuteronomy 28:15. And we understand that we in our curses. We're not complaining about that. What is the man that complain for the punishment of our sins? We're not ready, you know. We're not complaining about that. But this devil, you know, he's the devil. He's doing shit, debauchery shit, bagging ass shit. You know, all the things we've been saying, bestiality and all that, practicing witchcraft. What part of the game is that? You know?
That's what I was saying earlier. Like it's justice that we went through. We can't complain about it too much because you know what I'm saying? Like
that's why we working.
Yeah.
If we would complain, we'd be out there rebelling, trying to get some 40 acres of mule and rights to this place. They can have this place.
Yep.
We just want, they say, America, average American citizen, you work. They sign a deal. A contractual policy with them, and say I'll be here, work 9 to 5, and they say this is what we'll pay. That's supposed to be, you know, the common ground. The average working man that they say, well, this is how we do our operation. So you're bound to your word. But all that other shit, you know, we don't expect you to be fair and all that. He's a damn devil, man. And we don't expect America to be a paradise. We already know what this place is. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy, start at the 15th.
Yeah, Deuteronomy 28:15.
It says, Deuteronomy chapter 15, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord,
Yeah, just like any father to a son, son to a father. If you disobey my rules, kick you out the house. We got kicked out of Jerusalem. You know, Jerusalem was besieged. Go ahead.
It says, yeah. But it shall come to pass that thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power to observe, to do all his commandments.
That was detrimental even in the garden. We hearkened to the woman and not the Most High. You're supposed to correct that, rebuke that woman, like you're going off, woman. Just like Job. He said, hey, you sound like a foolish woman. You know? These philosophies, as women, we're supposed to say, that sounds foolish. Like what you talking about don't even make any sense. Let's get back to the scriptures for real. You know, go ahead.
And his statutes, which I command thee this day.
So we got commandments. When the soldiers receive commandments, so that means we're soldiers. You know, go ahead. And it said the Lord is a man of war. Go ahead.
That all these curses shall come upon thee.
Oh, curses, man.
And overtake thee.
They say having black skin, what is a curse? Well, yeah, I mean, we curse as a people. We curse as Israel. You know, go ahead.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city. So anywhere we go in the city, they're going, you know, you got taxes raised, you got to deal with cops, you got to deal with your own people, you know, you got to deal with whatever policy they set up in America. If they change, the president change everything, you ain't got no say. That voting shit is electoral. It ain't even real, man. It's electoral vote. So you can vote all you want to about how you think America should be, according to your people, according to your personal lifestyle, and it'll never be that way. Go ahead.
Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
In the world, and the field is the world, you know. But you got field too, like working in the cotton field, you know. Field Negroes, slave Negroes, you know. I mean, field Negroes, house Negroes. You work in the field labor, you know. Cultivation of crops, but you don't get paid for it. You picking cotton all day, don't get paid for it. Sugar cane, corn, all that shit. We wasn't getting paid for it. Go ahead.
Cursed shall be thy basket.
Your basket, your store.
And thy store.
So where we get our basket from, they usually push the basket in grocery stores. We buy it from them. We're supposed to have a farmer's market. You know, you could, the seed, let's say the seed of the fruit, you can plant it and continue to grow food. Keep the land savage so your produce will be good. But still, the seed goes on. You eat it, you plant the seeds up, and it'll grow again. But they taking the seeds out of so you can't plant no more. You know, and then the farmers markets are being attacked. The black farm, so-called black farmers or whatever, they being attacked by Monsanto and all this GMO shit. So that's a declaration of war. Go ahead.
Verse 18, it says, "Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body."
Fruit of thy body, your children coming out of your loins, because it comes out of the man loins into the woman's womb. She has the baby. So what we got left with projects, slums, ghettos, and then your children grow up, and then the woman, they take the men out the house, give the woman the rights, they get to arguing and division. Now the women are raising the children, custody battles, she wins, and then now your children, you look like a damn, what do they call it, deadbeat. You know, their father don't care about you. He's out in those streets, but the father's out in the streets hustling and shit. I gotta make some kind of money. McDonald's ain't paying me enough and shit. So I gotta, you know, sell these drugs, you know? Go ahead.
All right.
That was a woman, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was like, what? I said, oh shit, here they go. Oh, 18.
Verse 18.
Back to verse 18, it says, "Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body."
Go ahead.
"And the fruit of thy land."
The fruit of your land. Like we supposed to have land. How many Jakes own land today? You know? And they gonna say, well, what are you doing? This is private property. Or they gonna say, you got a license to have this land. Yet they murdered, slaughtered, took over the Gadites, Reubenites, this Christ, the Judites, and all that. Took their land, took the gold, and and put their stake in there for the land rush, and then now they want to, collect taxes on everything about your rent, about your land if you have any. You can buy land, but what is Jake gonna do with it? You gotta have the money to build on it. A house, gotta have the tools to build from scratch, the wood, the roofing, the plumbing, water system. Where you gonna come? That comes from Esau.
And just like Saquon was saying, like they celebrated that stuff. I used to go to when I went to Eisenhower Elementary. They would do a fake land run.
Yeah,
every year.
I remember that. They stopped
Every year they stopped school, everything.
Yep.
And everybody spray paint all the rocks gold.
Yep.
They spray paint them and throw them all out there. And then you had to run out there and put your little stake there so you can grab gold in that area.
Yep.
They still celebrate that to this day, man.
That's a mockery.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. This land, that song, "This land is your land, this land is our land." This land, this is stolen property, man. Stolen ground. But they, you speak up for your rights, even as a Gadite, so-called Native American, they be like, hey, you start causing disturbance in the area, you know what I'm saying?
And it's like, we had no idea, man. Because when I was young, I was like, hell yeah, this is cool. Like, look at little rocks and shit. Because I like rocks, obviously. Everybody know about this time.
It was sort of like a recess away from that pressure of those books and shit. They got Jake carrying like 5-10 books and shit, trying to go to class, bell ringing and shit. Like, damn, I'm late. And then you got to go to the principal's office and shit. They had this one, Jake, he was a teenager. He had so many books, he fell off the balcony. And his books were so heavy, he fell off into his death. Like, the books was this thick and shit. Each one of those books. Like, I ain't never gonna learn this shit. Meanwhile, your mom and your pop trying to find a better place for you to stay. So you gotta change schools and this shit at any time. And then all that shit about what is that science shit is bullshit. That fucking economics where you baking cakes and baking cookies and shit. Go ahead. They didn't teach you no real man shit. They should have had the little young men in the auto department, learning about autos and learning about trades and carpentry and shit, man.
How to start fires.
Yeah,
how to start a fire. Like how to make firewood, how to get firewood in places the right way, how to survive. Yeah. Okay. I want you to be dependent on it.
Social studies wasn't even about socialism. I mean, it wasn't even about being social and shit. Go ahead. And then you learning about George Washington and Abraham Lincoln.
And really, they did all that really to where when you got to the point where if you were supposed to come into this truth, because it's about the Lord, he has to put you in the truth, you would understand that history. So when you got people coming around you talking about they know the Lord, if they don't even know their history, then that's how you know they don't know nothing. They don't know nothing. Go ahead.
The increase of thy kin and the flocks of thy sheep.
Yep. Go down to 48. I think it is.
48. Yep. I think that's the one. I got it.
Go ahead.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
So you be like, well, Lord, how come this happened? How come that happened? Well, you turned your back on the Most High. So he let the enemies overtake you. And he said that. He said that before. He said, if you don't do what I say, now go back to 15 right quick.
15, Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass.
It shall come to pass, go ahead.
If thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord.
He always running. If you don't listen to go ahead.
The voice of the Lord thy power.
Thy power, thy God, go ahead.
To observe, to do all his commandments.
Observe, to do all the commandments. Because they do the opposite. It says, observe divinations, observe times and shit. And acting like, that's like they cling on to that. No, observe these commandments, go ahead.
And his statutes.
And his statutes, go ahead.
Which I command thee this day.
Go ahead.
that all these curses shall come upon thee.
So you can't have no excuse because your father be like, look, son, you know, these are my rules in my house, you know, do what I say and everything will be cool, you know. Don't do what I say, you gotta get out. Simple as that. And then what do Jake do when he leave the house, especially a female? When she leave the house and try to do it on her own, she gets pregnant, goes to jail, you know, she gets mixed up with drug dealers and all that. And that's what happened with Jake and Slate. You know? Because all Jake, you know, some Jakes was they was house niggas. Some Jakes was doing all right. Some Jakes was rubbing shoulders with the so-called white man and shit.
Oh, that's in Jeremiah. I forgot what chapter, but it's like it's a scripture that I don't want to butcher us, but just what you just said. That's in the that's was written that it would be
Hand in hand, like hand in hand.
No, not that one. But I know for a fact what is slack.
You know, while he getting that, you know, just like Saquon was saying, you know, with them, you know, some Jakes is doing all right, but it said that the Lord rewarded the fool and the transgressors. So the fool is Esau, even the so-called white man. The transgressors are Israelites, because they're the ones who were given the law to follow. So just because you're doing good, don't mean the Lord dealing with you.
Even in this day, just because you're doing good, that don't mean you're not going to have to abide by the laws of America. There's draconian laws coming. Martial law. War. Go ahead. Is it short?
Yeah, real. Yeah, short.
Okay.
It's Jeremiah chapter 15, verse 11. The Lord said, "Verily it shall be well with thee." Oh, Slacky. The Lord said, "Verily it shall be well with thy remnant. Verily I will cause the enemy to entreat thee well in the time of evil and in the time of affliction." So you had some Jakes, like you said, upon, you know, they was brought into the houses, you know, treated better than some of the, you know, undesirable Jakes that was in the field, you know. So, but that, like you said, that don't mean that they were, you know.
It's always a black bootleg. You
Huh.
know, it's always a Jake in the high seats that above the other Jakes in the White Houses and stuff like Martin Luther King, you know, Malcolm X, and you know, and Al Sharpton and all them, Jesse Jackass and shit, coming out with their suits. They, you know what I'm saying? They eat well. They eat well. They in high seats, but you know, they curse though still. That's right. You know, go ahead.
This 48. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
Because they still got to serve the so-called white people, no matter how high they are. Go ahead.
In hunger and in thirst.
Hunger and in thirst. Whatever you eat, you gotta go there. You know, and you might have a chicken mom pop store at Jake, buy chicken and waffles, whatever. You know, but their business is under the policies of the so-called white people. They gotta have a business license through him, pilot license through him, education through him, church so-called education through him. Thirsty through him, you get your bottled water and shit. Remember the woman at the well, she was drinking water from the well. You know, the Native American, so-called Native American, the Gadite said the water was so clean you could drink from the rivers and shit. You can't do that no more. Eating our bread defiled among the Gentiles, you can't eat no more. The meat is not real. GMO, you know. The fruit is not real. So we gotta go to them to get it. Because if you're a farmer, I think it's like 2% of American black farmers. You know, opposed to when they had it, you know, so-called black. You know, Black Wall Street, Chicago Renaissance. You know, apostles mentioned some more of Harlem Renaissance. You know, people in the industry, they went into a contract and thought, man, we're gonna get paid. got a gold chain. You see Jacob's magazine, like, shit, you know what I'm saying? New shoes, fresh and all that. Making then, next thing you know, it's like, years later, he's like, damn, I got duped out of my contract and shit. Like, I didn't get paid for that album, you know? Subject to these people, man. These devils. Go ahead.
And hunger and thirst and in nakedness.
And hunger and thirst and nakedness, you know, whatever you get your clothes, you know.
And in want of all things.
Hey, you remember FUBU?
Oh yeah.
FUBU means for us,
For us,
by us. What happened to FUBU? Ain't nobody rocking no FUBU no more. Remember Carl Kanai? Ain't nobody rocking Carl Kanai no more.
They even took that and turned that into a you know, like a byword. Yeah, Jake. They started calling them farmers used to buy us. Okay, they be saying that kind of stuff with that kind of stuff, man. That's why Jake stopped wearing that shit, man. We started finding out how we might saw towards us.
What was that? Fat Farm? I think that was Black Fat Farm. You know, Baby Fat. Rockaware, you know what I'm saying? Rockaware. None of that shit is top notch stuff. Even Kanye West said, he came out and said, I got duped to all this money. It ain't no Laurents though. You know what I'm saying? He's saying it ain't no top notch like, you know, like they do. It ain't no Gucci though. No, Gucci Cabana ain't no, you know? Because we got it. Those are curses, man. We got to go to whatever, even when we want to be fashionable, we got to go to them to get it. Even if we want to come out with our own clothing line, we got to go through them to do it, and it ain't gonna last because our people want what's expensive, what's name brand, you know, to show how good you living and shit. So if Park Kanai, you know, if he ain't booming and he ain't in the public eye, he ain't no celebrity, they gonna quit rocking this shit. They're gonna rock whatever those celebrities are rocking, man. And they rocking all Esau. Whatever Esau sells to them. Go ahead.
And in want of all things.
You gotta pause right. And one of all things, man. Like I said, you want your carpenter's license, you want your pilot license, you want your driver's license. Your own car that you in, you gotta have a license for that.
Even your own land, you gotta pay land tax.
Yeah, you gotta pay land property taxes. You know, you got and you be like, well, you know, when you go to jail, you don't wear your own clothes until you go to the pen or whatever. But when you go to the county, you in orange, red, you know, blue, whatever. But you're still in captivity, you know. And then you gotta go through them to have business and shit, you know. If we was in control, if we had some policies written for us, even in captivity, with you know, what do you call it? You know, if voting worked and all that, we will vote for conjugal visits, man, so we can get some box even in prison.
Yep.
But these devils, they ain't do that because they want to make feminized Jake, and they let trainees be in there, and they let booty bandits be in there. In fact, it's a whole fucking agenda. That's how much they hate us.
And that's how we know that, you know, we, and being that, so that's a more likely sure chance that we actually are on the straight gate, man. Because it said that we will seek the bribe. We're going to try to live a good life. We try to do that. But the Lord said, nah, you got to go this way, man. Never. And that's what I was talking about last night. I was in spirit going a little bit going into certain words. When you go into that word door, in the Greek, it's a Torah. Okay, and it talks about basically you go into that word, it goes into the word amphitheater. And it says basically a smaller door leading to the main course, the main situation. So you got to go through the sheepfold, just like Quan was saying, you have to go through the order. You got to make sure you go through it right. Because it said that there has to be certain criteria made to be able to stay there. You know, and you know, this is the Lord's business, man. And to be in the Lord's business, you're not going to live a great life. You're going to take L's, man.
It kind of reminds me of the movies. Like when you go through that door in the movies to enter into the bride,
Yeah,
the movie theater experience and shit. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
You gotta be one of those main ones who met the criteria to get to the main event. You know, and like I was talking to Storm last night about how like the business. I was looking it up because we the Lord's business. It says that we're his employees. Basically, we were hired to do a job. You know,
one of the charges he is hired.
Yep. He was hired to complete a mission. And it said the first 2 years, 70% of them don't make it. And then in the next 5 years, only 50% out of them make it. And then after that, it said 10 years, it said about 30% out of them make it.
And
yeah.
And when you have a business, we'll get back to the scriptures, but it's competitive. You might have your own chicken place, and then they showed that on Friday, I think it was, his barbershop.
Yeah,
and then he had a barbershop right across the street, and he had a basketball goal in that motherfucker, a pool and shit, massage chair and shit. So that put them out of business. Like, and his business suffered because of that. So, with all this marketing and all this, they got a chicken place on every corner of fast food. So if you open up your little thing, you're gonna get swallowed up. And you have to have the employees working for you. You have to have a business license and all that. So this is Most High say this is a free business. We're free. We don't have to, we do have a spiritual contract with the Most High, but it ain't like Esau shit. We ain't bond men and bond women to the Most High.
And that's why we know that in doing this, all these churches around here, they gonna get swallowed up, man. Because they business ain't about the Lord, man. We know that out of all the businesses that's saying that they running for the Lord, we know that we gonna be that top percent. If we stay with the order, man.
All of them need to have a out of business sign on their doors. The churches. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That's what
the point I was trying to, kind of get to. Like,
well, Yahweh Shai said, "Shall it be not about my Father's business?" Well, it is a business. Go ahead.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
Yoke of iron, man. And then they try to debunk that. Like, they want to talk about that. A yoke of iron. Look up yoke of iron in the Google, and you're gonna see slaves with a yoke of iron, man.
And it's gonna be a bunch of jakes.
Yep. And they did that too on that part for business purposes. Because if you can't go outside the slave masters' slave area or whatever. So if you put a yoke of iron around your neck, you can't go too far because you get caught up by, you will make it difficult to escape or run.
So they have us chained up. We have a yoke, and then the chain be connected to the next Jake. And Jake.
Well, they have Slucky, but they have the 4 sticks coming out.
Yep.
So if you running, you might run into a tree or a branch. Take you back. It's
knock you out or something.
Yeah. So that yoke of iron now, like Apostle Gabar says, paper yokes, man. Policies, contracts. Look at these being traded in the like you talked about it in the NBA, NFL. You've been traded. Look at Shannon Sharp. He was one of the top NFLs in his day, or decently well in his day playing football. Look at what happened to him, So the football didn't last forever for him. You start to get old and shit. Your knees go out. They're gonna take your ass out of trade. You get them out of there. I'm bound. I got a 7-year, 10-year contract. This is the amount of money I'm gonna pay, even though you paid $1 million with each. Okay, however they do it. If you get hurt, you ain't no basketball player no more.
That's why I said you sow yourselves for not. Yeah. This is not our rest, man. We gotta make sure that we put what needs to be first in real business, man. That's just where everything else, the main thing is really we trying to get out of working for this damn devil, man. But there ain't no way around it, man. The only way we get out of here is how about some outside.
It says we accept local payments. Go ahead, yoke of iron up on the neck, so that's Negroes, man. And they mad because they can't parallel themselves with the scripture. They don't fit the curses, man. They lied and said, no, where's your yokes of iron, man? Any of these nations, Moab, Elam, Ham,
Yeah, Esau tried to
Ishmael.
use the Holocaust for a little 6 years, a little bullshit 6 years. Oh, they went through. No, man.
We're talking about gas, concentration camps and gas chambers and all that. Y'all burnt the Negro right in front of your own family and shared photos and postcards about that.
Yeah, man.
Hallmark is a whole business off slavery, man. Any of those places, any of those businesses. Go ahead.
Weak ass postcards.
Yep.
Until he have destroyed thee.
Honey signed. You know, this is the picture of our slave we hung. Here he is, signed, love Martha and shit.
That's crazy.
You know,
that's what it said. It said they used to share gifts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, share gifts on the downfall. They still doing that to this day.
I got you a new purse, honey. It's made out of Negro skin. You know, the Negro skin used to be the Gucci Gabbana. They used to be the Louis Vuitton. Before that,
and they did stuff. They made movies like Jeepers Creepers and shit. That's talking about Esau's ass, man.
Yeah, and I remember
ass,
the term for that is anthropoderma bibliology. You look that up. That's the term for that situation right there.
Go ahead, up.
That's
Until he have destroyed thee.
That's what they did. They destroyed us. No heritage, no rights. Fuck all that freedom riders and shit. And get on the bus and shit. What the fuck is that? That's some old shit. We living in digital world right now, man. We living in robots. Elon about to mark everybody. He talking about, you know, like fuck the humans and shit. We get better with robots, not better in time, not better with patience and learning and stuff. We get better with robots and shit. That's how you enhance your mind with more knowledge through computer chips. That's what he said. What did the Most High say? Israel, learn, get understanding, knowledge with understanding. It didn't say robots and shit. So be the stability of thy times. Go ahead.
that's still in that description.
Oh, get the
next one.
Oh, we got to get that 50. Was it 54? Go to 54. Oh, 40. That was 48?
Yeah, 48.
54.
So that a man that is tender among you,
Your own brethren, man. Go ahead.
and very delicate,
Very delicate. It don't mean no soft ass shit. It means like, hi, Shalom, brother. Love you, brother. You know what I'm saying? Like we used to call back then, we used to call each other brother. Hey, that's my sister, that's my brother. Hey, brother, you know, my sister, hey, sister. Like it was more family and cuz used to be your cousin. Blood used to be your blood. It wasn't no blood gangbanging and shit. Your neighborhood used to be your neighbor, your own dwelling. Now it's neighborhood crib and all that. So you know that's Satan. Go ahead.
his eye shall be evil toward his brother.
This eye shall be evil. That's what that gangbanging shit is. That's what that neighbor against neighbor shit. That's what that brother against brother. It says anybody that hates his brother is worse than an infidel. It's worse than a murderer, basically. Go ahead.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
And the wife of the bosom, they divided, you know. Hate his wife. You know, Jake killed their wives today. Like, bitch, you ain't supposed to be a lion in your house. Lions rip you. You shit, you ain't supposed to treat your woman like you're supposed to love your wife. Also, I said, it says in scriptures, who hated his own flesh. You know? We talk about the black woman, man. We don't talk about the Israelite woman. We talk about the black woman that's evil. That's what we talk about. The ratchet ass, no good black woman. We ain't talking about the one that's submissive and shit, man. You know?
The one that's submissive, they really here to help us.
They really here to help us, man. They really the sincere ones. The daughters of Sarah, man.
They're really looking out, and they know
We're
that.
talking about Jezebel and all that, man.
Yeah, and they know that being the lion of your house, maybe y'all, you know, say something. You be like, all right, no, this is how we gonna do it. This is it. That ain't being a lion in your house, man.
Like I said, lion means when you in a house with a lion, he ripping your ass apart.
That ain't how it's supposed to go.
Two black eyes.
Yeah, man.
Your knees all fucked up. Hit you in the stomach.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But Eve, the so-called black woman, she be making the word Jake end up doing that shit because she was like that too.
running them out.
That you be seeing that domestic violence on both sides. Yeah. They both be beating the fuck out of each other and shit.
And they'll push your buttons until you know you want to hit me, you want to hit me, you want to hit me. Do it. And then it gets done, and then
You call the police.
and then call Esau. And that's why we don't really deal with women that worldly women, because that's where it can head to. You want to be with somebody who really loves the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And that's just you can pick and choose. You got some men who are strong enough to be able to handle that. But hey, you just got to be smart, man.
Don't try that.
Women to try to catch you in the snare, and then now you dealing with more than you got to handle, man.
We know we're not stupid, man. Most of these 15-year-old girls, by the time they're 14 and 15, they ratchet and talking shit. Look it up on YouTube, man. Talking about, she's just a little girl. She's talking shit and talking shit to her mother.
And it's because of what Esau allows to be shown to them at a young age online and whatnot. Even somebody was saying yesterday, I ain't gonna mention their name with them, but they was talking about somebody else. She was a young girl. She was like 9, 10. She wanted like a little skirt, like you know what I'm saying, like a little skirt. She was like, "Nah, I'm not with that." She's like, "I know you're not gonna wear it." Yeah. That's what she said to her, and that's how it is. A lot of these women out here, they whorish, man, because we in Babylon, man. So at a young age, then they already like that, man.
And that thing is true. That's why the Most High said Jezebel seduce the prophets, because that's a real thing. You can seduce a man. He can be like, "Nah, I ain't fucking with, no, I don't." And then you go, just like Adam. She worked on Adam. It wasn't no overnight situation.
Yeah.
And that's
it was over and over again. Like,
let's try this. Let's just do it one time.
That's some curses, man. Yeah. That's some curses. That's some curses. That's part of our curses too. Women trying to rule over us, man.
Yep. Desire.
So you gotta really gain your
desire her husband.
Yeah.
Want what you want. Be in a place where you want. Place where you are, and they giving these women high-level jobs. But go ahead, we get back to the scriptures.
And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall lead.
Which he shall lead. That's a curse. Jake leaves his children. How many? You can do the statistics on it if you want to. How many Jake fathers are not in the house? Go ahead.
That's it on that scripture.
Yeah, drop down to that was 54, right? Yeah. Go to that scripture that says your wife should be a harlot in the street.
Oh yeah, that's
but it's another similar to that though. This one similar to your wife should be a harlot. Deuteronomy 28 something. Okay, we should have started at 47. But let's get 41 right quick. Go back to 41. We'll read on down. We'll try not to read too much because we want to get into some other stuff too. Leading up to the MOTB. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them.
They got a picture of slavery, and the son is looking up to his mother while the slave master is beside the mother, and the slave master is coming in between the son and the mother, and the son is looking up like, it's like, fuck down, you know what I'm saying? Wait, you ain't gonna enjoy your children, man. And as soon as your children were born, it's like you spend, they kind of like you see them and it's like 2 or 3 years old, and then he say, well, he's gonna get sold to another plantation. No, don't take my baby. When did that happen with the damn devil ass Jewish people, man? The small hats, man. That ain't never fucking happened. Fucking lying ass devils, man. Go ahead.
For they shall go into captivity.
They shall go into captivity. And it says, Baruch, we are in this captivity to this day.
Yep. So what's all this stuff talking about Israel having a military having missiles. We don't have none of that, man.
If y'all got military missiles, then take over, man. Shit. What the fuck you have your people still in slavery for? You know what I'm saying? You got the means to take over. Go ahead.
As soon as we get the means to, we're gonna find out. We're gonna do it. The Lord give us some powers, we ain't gonna wait 1 second. That's no question. Tear this motherfucker up.
It says do something and ask questions later, man. There ain't no questions later.
No question.
Okay.
All thy trees and fruit of thy land shall the locusts consume.
Locusts consumed. Now Esau is the new locust and shit. Go ahead.
The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
And he's very hot. The billion, if you are like Dr. Dre, he's considered, Oprah. A lot of them considered billionaires. They ain't touching the elites, man. The elites ain't even on the economic chart. Shit.
You can't even see them. They don't even talk about it.
They don't even exist. According to, according to numbers and shit.
And they make them on movies. They call them the Untouchables. It'd be like some random dude in the movie. Nobody knows him, but this motherfucker, like, he got a bomb that can implode and like turning a whole area into a marble or something, like an inward explosion or something. He got the power of it. Nobody don't even know the dude. That's the elites, man.
This was he.
Okay.
And thou shalt come down very low.
We down low. Projects, slums, ghettos. What's another word for it?
Slums.
Yeah, I said
prison,
slums,
trout,
ghettos.
fucking prison.
Yeah, prison,
Trout.
Go to doom clock. Prison.
It's coming without fail, man.
Projects. Basically concentration areas and shit. Go ahead.
And he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
Yeah, you gotta, like, when you get a business, you gotta get a business loan. Because he got the money. All them slaves that came in the slave quarters that didn't have no money. Then when they get them, they paid them like 2 cents a day or something like that. It's crazy ass shit, bro. And then they'll go to the house and say, ask a black woman, how you take care of your children with not a man in your house. He's like, I just do the best I can, and the kid is in this corner eating a big pot of rice and shit that's for the whole family and shit. Meanwhile, these devils are eating luxury and shit. The best meals, the best water, the best this and that. Go ahead.
He shall be the head.
Yeah, he's gonna be the head. You flip a coin, American coin and shit. Who's on that damn coin?
White man.
Yeah. No, he's gonna be heads or tails.
He got both sides and shit.
He taking care of the tails. We the tail end. We the bottom bit. He keep us at the bottom. And what do we be eating? Bottom feeder food and shit.
Church and chicken.
You know what I'm saying? No, I'm talking about, chicken is lawful, but I'm just saying that the bottom feed is like crab, lobster, shrimp, and all that.
Yeah, this is an asylum for Jake, man. This place is hell for Jake, man.
Yeah, we at the bottom, even though, and everybody think like just because we dress nice and Jake got style, like, oh, y'all ain't doing too bad. Nah, because we can't help it. We the salt of the earth and shit. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We ain't gonna be like those Africans out there, rusty, crusty knees eating damn whatever the fuck they be eating, man.
We're gonna try to make it what we got, shit.
Looking for Banbako and he's under a damn cow getting pissed on. That ain't the bottom we talk about. We talk about like we're gonna be, we're gonna be taxed the hell out of, not having, barely paycheck to paycheck and all that.
Yeah, we ain't gonna have no rulership.
So I ain't gonna have his people out there like that. He said he don't care about the nations, and you can tell he care about Israel. He'll at least little Jake going around fresh in the bed.
He not care about the Hamites. They be out there dusty ass legs, and then they got the damn hula hoop earrings this big and shit.
Yeah, Jake be like, I'm you know, I'm struggling and shit. Next thing you know, he got a brand new suit on. Like, where you get that
fuck out with
I
that
thought you
shit.
were struggling and shit.
And guess what? He got it on clearance.
Yeah, I got a deal and shit.
Jake ain't gonna try to get nothing for it, right?
Yeah.
You hear me?
Every now and then, Jake get hooked up by his own people. Like, my homeboy hooked me up.
He took care of him,
Yeah,
man.
you know what I'm saying?
That's how it go. We gotta look out for each other out here, man.
Most High know we ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? He's the Most High, you know? But he know we ain't those kind of people that we gonna ask the Most High, look, Most High, what the hell is going on? I mean, not, you know, not talking against the Most High, but Most High.
Like I said,
we said that about the nations. Look, the nations in the rule over us. They got us eat this, eat that. So that's what we're doing right now. In righteousness, though, we're crying out back to the Most High. Like Apostle Wakadas, you gotta beg the Most High to get back in the house.
that's what I was saying. Trying to seek that bride, trying to have that good life, man.
Yeah, but Blue, he said, for it was your mind going astray, being returned, seek him 10 times more. So it was our mind going off.
Beat times, man. Go ahead.
He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
Yep.
I thought about Ecclesiastes. I see servants.
Yeah, but keep going though. Yep, that's another one.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee.
All these curses shall come upon thee,
and shall pursue thee.
That's a curse. It ain't fucking damn and shit. Though this is curses. You know, go ahead.
And shall pursue thee.
Shall pursue thee. Chase your ass. You ever try to move away and shit? Like Jacob try to go to another state where it seems to be better. They be like, you know, we moving to, you know, out in the, you know, and this place, we're moving good place in New York, any of those cities, you know, a better part of Chicago. And then they'll still get into some nigga shit, right? They'll still, they said they had this, you know, Judge Mathis, they had this woman had a testimony about her being on crack. She said, yeah, I tried it, you know, I left Detroit, and I went to, LA, one of those places, another city. And she said, yeah, I was doing all right for a minute. You know, I got myself together. Then I started dealing with this, you know, drug dealers there. You know, and she got on crack again. You know, what they call it, a product of your own environment. Because your people be spotting you out, oh, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. And then they come around and shit.
Like, damn.
Like, damn, this mother found out where I live.
That's why you don't see us around nobody, man.
Like Apostle R said, when he see niggas coming, he cross the street. Yep. No.
That's in Proverbs. Proverbs 5th chapter. Go not in the way of the evil. The evil. Nah, man. He say go not in the way of the evil man or something like that. Yeah. You know, basically, like you said, Pastor R, he said go not that way, cross not that path. That's what it said in the Proverbs. He said, so basically, like you said, Pastor R, you see that. And we be doing the same. I do the same thing. I see duck my head a little bit, you know, because you know that energy they draining, man.
Even our women, we be wanting to talk to them because you know we remember who they used to be, you know. Yeah, and then you be like, nah, fuck, they all fucked up. Go ahead.
And overtake thee.
Wait, go to the 3 children in the pocket. Anybody got some pocket? We don't really go into this. Going to it. Wow. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah. 108. Yeah. The three holy children. Yeah, verse 13. Okay. I'll read it right quick, starting at 4. Read the whole chapter. It says, "For thou art righteous in all things that thou hast done to us." Talking about the Lord. "True are all thy works, thy ways are right, and all thy judgments true. And all things thou hast brought upon us, and upon the holy city of our fathers, even Jerusalem, thou hast executed true judgment. For according to truth and judgment didst thou bring all these things upon us because of our sins." Yeah, and truth and judgment. The Most High is right about this. There ain't no, well, God cared about us. No, he's right. He's righteous in all his ways, man. We sin. It says,
Can't blame him for it. That's all.
it says, we have sinned and committed iniquity, departing from it. And all things we trespass and not obeyed thy commandments, nor kept them, neither done as thou hast commanded us, that it might go well with us. It says, "Wherefore all that thou hast brought upon us, and everything that thou hast done to us, thou hast done true judgment." You know, and thou didst deliver us into the hands of lawless enemies. These lawless enemies, man, they don't care about the Most High's law. You know, they don't care about, like we said, they don't care about adultery, idolatry. They promote that shit. Bestiality, they promote that shit. You know, sodomy, they promote it. It says, "Most hateful forsakers of God, most hateful forsakers of God, these other nations, and to the unjust king, and most wicked in all the world," man. See how we talk back in? We don't talk like that no more. We talk like maybe they'll change. Maybe the so-called is some good so-called white man. You're talking like a boondock. Maybe they'll change. That's how that's all. You know? Boondock.
They say the line and when Isaac, no, not Isaac, Jacob, when he prophesied, he told his 12 sons to come to him. He spoke about Judah. He said Judah is a lion's whelp.
Well, yeah.
He had bowed. How it go? He had bowed down.
He got crouched himself as an old lion.
Yeah, and what he said. What he said about the prey, he said he had
the prey he had not departed.
See, because with the prey, he like we ain't like you just said. You know, we like, oh well, it's all we're not. You know, like we used to be, man.
Yeah.
Like we more passive to what's going on, what's been done to us.
It's called conditioning. Drop down in 13. "To whom thou hast spoken and promised that thou wouldest multiply their seed as stars of heaven." Well, yeah, that's what it's. But yeah, that was the point. So Most High is right. Even when we went into slavery, that's what you do when you whip your son. He whipped us with the so-called white man. Go ahead, go back to that.
Because even in Micah 7:9, it goes in, "I will bury the indignation because I sinned against him." Like it just goes and basically him correcting us.
Yeah. Also, I can use this as I wouldn't call it an experiment, but just look at my son. He's a righteous man, you know. He will not forsake me. Go to Job, you know. And Job went through all that, kept his integrity, and he increased him in his last. Yeah.
Deuteronomy 28:45.
That's what you would do to your son, right? You brag on your son. Like, look at my son. He's the best in school. He's the best. You know, he's a ladies' man. He's proud of all that. That's how the Most High looks at us when we in our right state. That's right. You know. And look, my children are better than all these other nations. Look at them. But we brought shame to the Most High himself. Go ahead.
"Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee."
All these curses shall come upon thee. Go ahead.
"And shall pursue thee."
Shall pursue thee. Go ahead.
"And overtake thee
Yep.
till thou be destroyed.
Till thou be destroyed. Go ahead.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy power,
Go ahead.
to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee.
Yep. Go ahead.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
For a sign up on a wonder. So it's like, you know who Israel is, because like they in the ghetto, they in the slums. Well, the ghetto mean the dwelling place of the Jews. They go through all these curses. They divided. They don't have no father in the house. These are signs. Go ahead.
And upon thy seed forever.
Forever. Go ahead. Go through it.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy power with joyfulness.
You're supposed to be joyful. You set us up. Look. You know, I give you a diadem. I give you I'll give you a house with my name. You know, like, the nation's like, Lord, we want a king. We want an embroidery. We want to let people know who we are. Okay, I'll give you the name Israel. You know, because these nations, they had their stuff. And anybody, Lord, because like, let's say Levi, they're a portion of the Most High. They might say, well, Lord, we want to be like the other tribes too, Lord. Like, well, I don't have to deal with you like I deal with them like I do, because you're my portion. I don't have to, we'll have to, like everybody should already know, but your son be like, well, Lord, I mean, Pops, I want to, I want you to come to my graduate. I want you, to let them know who you are. Like, you all right, you start doing for your son with the, like Jacob in the limelight. He want his name, and lights and shit. He want, he don't want to only sign a contract, but he want, so and so, he's the best rapper in the world, and he's naming lights and shit. He got his own stage and shit.
And that's why Jake don't, the majority of Jake won't love the truth, because that's not what we here for. We ain't here to be noticed. Yeah. And we just here to edify the elect. And in 2 Thessalonians, we talked about that. The ones who didn't love the truth, the Lord sent them a delusion. So they believe in lies. Yeah, strong delusion. So that's what we're seeing in the earth. That's why everybody can't get what we're saying, man. They under strong delusion because they really don't love the truth.
It's almost remind me of a woman that you married to in the house, and y'all doing well, and she said, I want to get out. I want to go to Paris. I want to, get out there with the rest of these women and look good. I want to wear, a slit of my dress and look pretty in front of the world. You know what I'm saying? What did Cindy Lauper say? She said in her song, she said, girls just want to have fun. Some men lock their women up and hide them from the world and shit. Yeah. So, all these women want to be seen. So if you're not the kind of man that want to show off your woman, she don't want to be with you. But the Most High let us have that. A little bit of that. Like, all right, go out there and see. That's why we all on TV and shit. Yeah. But then what happens? Shit, the nations get jealous. They start taking from us and putting us in these weird contracts and making us do weird ass shit. The Most High said, see, I told you. So if you want to be out there and have fun and in front of the nations and shit, now you looking crazy, man. Mm-hmm. So now the woman that woman starting to understand. Look, the coach, what is it, Steph Curry's wife and shit. She's in a big ass mansion. Like I'm just sitting here. You in a big ass mansion. Throw some,
clean that mother.
Clean it up. You got invite some. Okay, invite some of your cousins, the trust, the cousins and your sisters or whatever. If they that. But then you got a big ass mansion and you got money and shit. But they want more. Israel want more. All right, Lord, we on top of the world. We kings and priests, but what's the name won't let me do this. The Levites, they making me do this. Well, what did you do? I went out, but I don't think I deserve that. Well, what do you deserve? What do you want from the Most High? Go ahead.
Because thou servest.
They ain't cool with Esau being over them. But they kind of are, because when they say, if we mention the order of the elect, they don't want to be under that.
Yep, because they said that they love wickedness and not righteousness. So a lot of our people rather be under Esau, even though they not happy. A lot of them still gonna stay over here, man.
Yep.
And, you know, hey.
And right now it's like that. To see if they had the vision of what's to come, oh, they'd be all in.
Yeah, because it says where there knows vision, the people perish.
See, so yeah, because it seems boring to them right now. It seems like this is for nothing.
Yeah.
You know, but if they just only if they knew, oh man, they be all in, man.
Yeah.
But they say they're gonna wake up to everlasting shame, everlasting contempt,
Something to everlasting life.
Yeah, it says something everlasting life. Yeah. So everlasting contempt.
because thou servest not the Lord thy power with joyfulness.
Yeah, you made the commandments grievous. So you tell your son and your daughter, you gotta do this, but I don't know. The other children that don't have to do this. That's what the Bill Cosby children used to tell him on the Bill Cosby show. Like, but my friends, your daughter, they wear makeup. Why can't I wear makeup? And then when they do wear makeup, men will be like, trying to get their asses. You know how men are when they're young. They just vibrant. They full of energy. Like, come on, girl, let's do this shit. Go ahead.
And with gladness of heart.
Gladness of heart.
For the abundance of all things.
Yeah, we got all things.
And that's the everlasting life that we're talking about. That you're supposed, that's what's supposed to come upon you when you come in the truth. But the ones that are coming to the truth and they shaming it, they're experiencing that everlasting contempt because they're gonna pay for that later, man.
Yeah,
with them missiles, man, they're gonna pay later for that, for them not being able to understand really the love of this truth, man.
Yeah, and if you think you're gonna have a quick death with the missiles, go to that Terminator movie with Sarah Connor and shit. They exploded her inside, but she felt that shit. There wasn't no yelling like it was yelling like deep within, like her soul was on fucking fire. Go ahead.
Therefore, like it goes into that yoke of iron scripture after that.
Yeah.
Because I made it back to 48.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll. Yeah, the yoke of iron. Go to First Esdras 869 right quick. Then we'll link it to start getting into a little bit of MOTB.
But that's serious, man. Because Jake think it's all in the mind or something. It's something physical, man. And this stuff, it's all been warned by the prophets for years, man. For generations. We have been waiting for this time to be able to go through the trial. But this is the last. That's one of the last ones out of here, man.
And the devil said that old serpent devil, he's gonna try the same tactics. It was never Christianity that was the mark of the beast back then that the devils try to put on us.
That don't make no sense, man.
Go ahead.
Don't make no sense.
Which one?
First Esdras 1680, I think 89, I think it is.
689.
Yeah.
First Esdras 869.
Yeah, that's right. First Esdras, chapter 69. Chapter 8, verse 69.
Yep.
The nation of Israel, the princes, the priests,
Go ahead.
and Levites,
And the Levites,
have not put away from them the strange people of the land,
strange people of the land. Go ahead.
nor the pollutions
Nor the pollution
of the Gentiles,
of the Gentiles. Go
to
ahead.
wit.
Yep. The Hittites. Go ahead.
Pharisees,
Parasites. Yep.
Jebusites,
Jebusites. Go ahead.
and the Moabites,
The more. Yep. All these
Egyptians,
Egyptians
and Edomites.
and Edomites. Yep. They haven't put away that. So they rather listen to them and go into their ways than listen to the Levites, listen to Moses, listen to the prophets, listen to Noah, listen to Yahweh Shai, the very son of God. Go ahead. Go back. Oh, it's not. That's it. Is it more?
And then you got
Well, let's see. Let's go on.
go back to it. Yeah. I'll just go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm Mark. Where you going back to Deuteronomy, I think
28, 47.
Go to 28. Deuteronomy 28, 47.
Yeah, 48.
Yeah, I just read
48.
Oh, and yeah.
that was the one that was like the
But
yoke
yeah,
of
hunger
iron.
and thirst for nakedness, all things.
Okay.
One of all things, put a yoke of iron upon our neck. We read that till you have destroyed us. He has, mentally, not all the way spiritually, because Most High said, I will not utterly destroy you, but to correct you in measure. It says, the Lord, 49, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle fly. What's America's symbol? What was Rome's symbol? Eagle. Yep. What's on your quarter or your dollar bill? Eagle. All eagles on it.
Yep. The tail sign.
Yep. It says
they try to make it seem like they the Most High, because they talked about the Lord will protect us under His wings.
A nation like Yahushua is that eagle on the righteous side.
And he said He would protect us under His wings. And they try to make it seem like they was the Most High, man. They not for us, man.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. A nation of fierce countenance. You can see that in slavery. Fierce countenance and shit. Looking up on us like, yeah, we got your ass, Jerusalem.
And today, they try to.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, they try to do it like they try to be more. Since it's weaker through age, the times, people are not as hard as they were. So they try to use that to make it seem like they care about us now. They'll be like, oh, we'll give you one more chance. We'll try to correct you more kindly and stuff. It's all a mirage.
It's almost like the old Edomite when he gets old. He said, right.
Yeah,
about the Exodus.
Yeah, and that's how it was with most of the kings that were Edomites. They started thinking about all the wickedness they done. Now they want to be good and righteous. Nah, man, it's too late. It's too late to apologize. You heard me?
What is that? Job, the 21st chapter. He should, his seed shall man, Slocky, man. I know I be.
Surely I'll probably hear lies though.
It's all good.
I be trying to remember.
It's all good. We know what we're talking about. Come on, though.
It says a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. A nation of fierce countenance slash guard. The old more favor to the young. Worship to the 6 years old. They had children in the cotton field. They say, old man, and you begging for your life as a slave. And old man, they don't care. You sitting on the porch and shit, like 80 years old, talking about your stories as a slave, how the slave master beat you. They don't give a damn. You still got to pay taxes. You still got to pay this. When retirement used to be like what, 50 years old, like 5. Now it's like almost 70 years old.
And they know you ain't gonna last in no damn 70 years. All the damn drugs and cigarettes and pollution in the air and all that. Pollution in the air, the chemtrails,
water and all that. Yeah,
water's contaminated.
What you gonna do at 70 years old? By the time you're 70, you almost like
you through. You through.
So these are straight devils, man. We dealing with.
Yeah.
That's why the Most High gonna destroy their ass.
Shit, I'm 33 years old. I already got gray hairs. I ain't no shit. You hear that long shit? We through. Lord gotta come back.
So I'm speed it up. Verse 54. We read that. The man that is tender and man, he shall be eaten for his brother. Lead a remnant of his seed, which he shall leave. Drop to 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which will not venture to set the sole of foot upon the ground, but delicate and tenderness. That's how submissive and soft are women. Now they all hard body, hard neck, stiff neck, all nephew, and it says, her eyes shall be evil toward her husband, and of her bosom, and toward her son. And toward her daughter, man. That's right. Whole family and shit. And toward the young that cometh out from her feet. It says, and toward her children which she shall bear, but she shall eat them for one of all things secretly in the siege and straitness wherein thy enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. So it was such thing as cannibalism too. Plagues, but it was that
and that's how you see he turning the curses back from us, because we're not dealing with that as much as we were. You know, we dealing with it still in certain things that you deal with, but the curse is way worse on us back then, man. He's been slowly pulling them off.
That's right. Going to verse 30 is what I was talking about. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. That's happening now. Almost in every household. Even if you're a military man and you work hard for the money of government or whatever it is, we don't give a damn about that. But it's just like when you pour your life savings into something to please her or whatever, or to keep together your family, she's gonna be in another man's bed. She's gonna have an excuse for it. Why she is? He makes more money. Or you never home.
He wasn't here.
You know? Or you don't love your children, or you treated me wrong. You called me a bitch. That night I slept around because I didn't think you loved me no more. So it says, thou shalt build a house and thou shalt not dwell therein. And thou shalt plant a vineyard and shalt not gather the grapes of. That's happening all the time. So let's get into a little bit MOTB and we'll close out. So here it is, Deuteronomy 28:68.
Yeah.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. What do you do in ships? You do like cargo slave ships. You can travel from Jerusalem to Egypt on camels. You don't need no ships. Talking about this spiritual Egypt, which it says in Revelation. Yep. Spiritual Sodom and Egypt. So there's a spiritual Egypt. Where is it? Right here in America.
Revelation 11:8.
And you want some physical proof? A little documentary strip of a documentary, the dollar bill that got the pyramid on it. See?
Yep. You know, it's all there.
Yeah.
Egypt means bondage, right? We bondsmen and bondswomen, right? You got a bond to get out of jail, right?
Yeah. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt, and the apostles use another word for Egypt too, as well as bondage. Thou shalt see it no more again. We ain't seen no homeland again. It says, there shall ye be sold, who was sold on auction blocks. Where's the Jewish people that got sold on auction blocks? Where are the Moabites that got sold auction blocks? Where are the Edomites that got sold a block? No, we was under the Africans. But we had moved up, just like Moses, Joseph. That's like in societies, we move up. And they kind of give us a position. That don't mean we're those people. No? It says, so to your enemies, so their enemies, for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you, redeem you. And then what does it say about the MOTB? Buy or sell. This is a trading, this is a whole economic system that's based on economics as well as their military. But the economics is how they do business, the city of trafficking. So we're in America, we gotta have a citizenship. You gotta have a, like you said, driver's license. You have an ID,
Social Security.
All that's, you gotta pay money for that shit. And then, you know, to even live in America to where you can look like a citizen. Because if you're a bum, they'd be like, well, we're gonna come down on homelessness.
That's crazy. We've been stuck in this for a while, man. That's why I said thou shalt see it no more again. The land of Israel, man. We have not seen it so in Israel, man. It's not us. Yeah. So we here. Yeah, we stuck here.
So what is the so-called white man buying us? I mean, the Most High said, "You eat without money." It says, "No man shall buy thee." So, what is this? So, like, is such thing as selling your soul, whatever? He's trying to sell you into this marketing system of the MOTB. You know, so when you get it, you know, you're basically a part of a system. Your contribution is part of the system that's keeping this digital world going. You know. That's based on the money system, but really commodity, merchandise. You got the trade wars with China and America and all that. And, you know, they use men and women as merchandise, as product. You know, they ship slaves too. Remember that? They put them in a box, shipped them like a UPS package.
Yeah.
So
And they trying to make you property of Esau Edom, man. That's what they're trying to do, make you property, man.
yeah, exactly. And everything you got on you is barcoded.
Yeah.
Clothes. You know, you work at a company, you got their tag logo, you're bound by a contract, and they pay you. You don't, Jake don't go to work without being paid. Yeah, and this is how much we'll pay you. You'll be like, I'm worth more than that because I have more knowledge than that. And they say, well, we don't have an opening. So then you got to deal with your situation till they have an opening. So you're a part of this product merchandise based system dealing with economics.
Jake think that's the mark, man. Jake think that's the mark. You just got a job and you working. Like, they think that's the mark. You remember that's what that dude said yesterday?
Yeah.
He said he thought that was the mark, man.
What about going off the grid? You can go off the grid. You don't have to work. What about you living with your family and that's like 10, it's 10 people in the house. So, but 3 of them work. Well, 4 of them work and the others don't. They not, so they don't have the mark of the beast. You know? But that's bogus, man.
Jake, because Jake, he think he know it all, man. But yeah. Jake don't like to really look in between the lines, man. You got to read the Greek when it comes to these words, man, or you're not gonna really understand what's being said to
you. Yeah, and like the barcode is a thing because it's legal. It's kind of marketing. It's a marketing tool.
Yeah,
it's not a format of somebody actually. You know how you could do a barcode, and some of them you do the can and barcodes, and some of them you might miss. Like, you know, all of them don't have to go through that scanner. Some of them Jake can drop them in a bag without the scanner.
They be doing it where you can get like 4 or something, and you can scan just 1 or 4 times.
Yeah.
So like that's more than just like that's part of the curse. Yeah. Let's say we're gonna work for the sweater our brow, we're gonna have to go to him for all day. Yeah. That's just the curses.
Yeah, curses in the market too. Yeah. But what they really want to do is have you as the actual fucking product.
Yeah. Like they own your ass.
Yeah. Like they want to scan you. Yep. That's what that's what Elon Musk be talking about. Chipping everybody, Neuralink, put stuff in so they can track your mind and your thoughts, and they want to know everything, your dreams. Like with badass women, you're like, damn girl, I really like you, man. I want to know what you dream about, what you think about, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if they're not talking, they be like, what you talking? I want to know you more. Well, the devil want to know us inside of what's going on inside of us.
And you know, they just had their 3rd Neuralink patient. And like they said there was something wasn't working with it, but they said he can still talk. So they trying to get that shit working.
All the Black Mirror episodes are based on white children. You know, Elon Musk is in the news, like we always say, he's in the news much as Trump is, man. Where did he come from? And Bill Gates, he's a computer guy. He's in the news. All these great, so-called great American politics and guys, they're into all of a sudden electronics and look at AI and shit. Remember Moab? He used to be a karate dude, so-called, but now he's in the AI is like the Edomites are and shit. The rest of the nations are. They putting their hand in the bag, you know. But let's go to Revelations. Close out, but it's a link because that branding system of going back to slavery, you put a mark on you to ownership, and that's what they want to do. They at least want to own us. They want to, like if your woman say like I love you, or like people say I love America, your woman say I love you. That's not enough, you know. Like everything she has, we got for her. You don't want another man buying your woman's clothes and shit. You're gonna be like, yeah, like there's a song called I Saw You Walking Rain. He said, yeah, all that shit I bought you. Take off that dress I bought you. Take off that necklace I bought you. You know, and strip her butt naked. But that's what the Most High said to us. Like, I'm gonna take your nose cheese away, your ankle break, you know. your moves like the tire. I'm gonna take off because he's the one that fixed us up. But Esau's trying to fix us up. So he can play Barbie doll with us, dress us up, take us back down, take off our clothes, put it back on and shit like a damn doll, man. You know, take your rights away from you. Oh, if you beg it, then I'll give it to you. You know, he want full control, and he'll do that by that damn device, man. Because a lot of people are starting to go off the grid today. He ain't going. He want everybody on that MOTB grid.
They got satellites. They gonna come find you.
Yeah.
It said it's gonna try the whole world. You ain't gonna have no way out of this, man. All roads lead to the MOTB, even going off the grid, because you still own the land.
Yeah,
New
that's
world
why they
order,
got everything. Yeah, everything is in the inner cities, the food and all that. So if you go off the grid, you're gonna run out of food. Just like we fled in the Masada Mountains, we started to starve, and we started. They came to slaughter us.
You know, even if you do know how to hunt and stuff, Esau knows where your stuff at, man. Yeah. They got satellites in the sky. They gonna come too. They gonna come find you.
Remember the robot dogs, Black Mirror? They try to go into the forest and shit.
Yep.
And they chased them out there. Go ahead.
13-16.
Yeah, that's about the MOTB.
Yeah, because it almost small.
Yeah, that's right there. Okay.
This is Revelation 13, verse 16. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond,
Go ahead.
to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Yep, go ahead.
And that no man might buy.
What did he say? You said,
Yeah. We said it was the mark that we buying out here because we're bound to the system, but it said the free one too. The ones that's out there in the wilderness living off grid. Them too.
And it says in your hand. There's another scripture that says in
your hand, man.
Yep. And in the foreheads, you know what I'm saying? They knew that's what that's what Elon Musk is talking about. Because what are they, if you think about it, they trying to be, he said that like he is the Most High. Most High made man and woman, right? He's trying to make his own version of a man and woman through robotics, so he definitely wants that inside of you to make you into what he wants to make you, like the Most High did.
Because he sold his birthright.
Yep.
So he needs something artificial, just like he's doing with the food, water. He's trying to make everything artificial so it can be compatible with his AI system, man. You know?
And he said, the Most High said he put our his laws in our inward part, but they want to put their system in our inward part.
Yep. They're trying to be like the Most High, right?
Trying to be like the Most High.
That's what they doing, man.
Go ahead.
And that no man might buy or sell.
See, no man might buy or sell. So, hey, remember they came out with the food stamps and all that, and then Jake was trading and shit. Customers coming up, and then they came out with the card where it was getting more strict and shit. You can't just trade a food stamp, then you had to give a password. If you want to loan somebody the card, you give them a password. But now it's even more different now.
Same he that had the mark.
So you can't buy or sell unless you have that MOTB, which in the scriptures, like you said, going to the Greek is paragma, which means incision, to cut in, put in your hand and inward. Go ahead.
Or the name.
So Most High said, no man shall buy you. So, and you shall be redeemed without money, but they're going to try to offer you something that they can buy you. You know what I'm saying?
That word, forehead, you know that yet? That word forehead, it means metaton. It means between the eyelids. And the Greek is metaton. Something between your eyelids.
Yeah. Because they had an actual, and also, what do they call that too when they say that's the third eye?
Pineal
You know?
gland.
Yeah, when you awoke. But they had a movie called Mark of the Beast. And they had an actual printed. It was a tattoo, but they had it between the eyes.
Yep.
You know,
Because they was reading that stuff and they was trying to get it, man. But the secrets were not revealed to them, man.
and that's crazy. We mention this because, like, when they say, "Have y'all seen a unicorn?" Like how they present a unicorn, and it's in between the eyes.
Yep.
It's like a third eye. So the unicorn is an internet.
Yeah.
Which is a mass foundation of knowledge, and opening to your
Yeah, for you to understand. So that's why you got like we said, little girls out here trying to wear skirts and stuff because they got to see the wickedness of the world and they done entice them because they don't love the truth, man. They don't understand the truth. Yeah. And that's on all levels of ages, man. And they all try to get you when you're young, man. So it's a blessing that we have this truth, man. That means that at some point we love the truth, man. Yeah. Before we got here.
Yeah. It says, return back to thy first love. Go ahead.
Or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Yep. And apostles go into that all the time. You know, how that even with that 6, 4, and 6, and how it links up to the Latin and you know certain. Man, their whole system basically. The image of it is the imagination of the beast, which is the system. You know, his number, you know, it's just the calculations of this digital numeric system. You know, they, like I said, they even have a monster tree written in Hebrew, it's 666. You know, so this system's about to go down. Man, like, it's a nice day. I wish, you know what I'm saying? We shouldn't have to talk about it. You know, we shouldn't have to be the prophet of doom, but this ain't the kingdom. When we get the kingdom, this ain't nothing on the kingdom. This has nothing on the kingdom. This is a congested, caveman-like world. You know what I'm saying? That you can't move around. You can't hardly breathe in. You know? Go ahead.
Here is wisdom. Let him that had understanding count the number of the beast. For it's a number of a man.
Yep.
And his number is 600, 666. Yep. 666.
Yep. So, you know, this capitalism, this economic world-based system, along with NATO, which is the military, and America being the harlot, you know, selling her box, you know, like a prostitution, you know what I'm saying? Prostitution trade, you know. That's why they having a trade war. The harlot is trading with the Chinese people, you know. It's a trade war, and they say, "Well, your products is no good no more, America. Your money is no good, harlot." So they, you know, they hating the harlot and all that. So now she's gonna offer that, hey, well, this is the chip. We created a device to where everybody agrees with this, and everybody can keep each other on track. Yeah. The tracking and shit, because that's what the part of this trade war is: tracking your imports and exports.
Hey, you know, we heard Trump saying his last little saying was he said he run America and he run the world with the European Commission, the heads of the European Commission. They talking to the EU, and they tell them you can't no longer rely on America, man. Y'all got to get ready to defend yourself because America is not holding up to their duties, man. You know, and that's part of that harlotry, like Spawn said. You know, they out here giving that all they you know energy on you know trying to make everybody else spend all this money here, but they ain't looking at the fact that they ain't even holding down what they supposed to do. They supposed to be keeping up with their stuff, like the audits for this place. They supposed to do audits every year on all the taxes. They 6 years behind, man. They ain't even keeping up with their stuff, man.
And all their tactics is failing.
Everything's going bad.
So it can't be no conscious thing, because they don't know who's who. Mm-hmm. They want to know who you are and what you think it, like the Minority Report. They want to put it in your mind to know is he a son of God? You know, they want to see that on the monitor through your neural link. It's called link. You're hooked up to the the nervous system, whatever. They want to see that shit. Because what we say in the Apocrypha, what it say? He claimed God as his is he claimed the Most High is his God, Yahweh is God, his Savior, Yahweh Shai. Yeah, and they know men supposed to get spiritual powers, right? They had a movie called Glass, so they doing experiments, and this is one of their main experiments, if not the main experiment, like they do to rats and monkeys and all that, to chip you, to find out to trace the God factor in you, to keep you from frequency, so you could become a slave. Because they know what's going to happen. So they want that physical device that interrupt with it and make you say it's to check your something cells or whatever. That cells carry information. The computer system was designed after the human body is supposed to get. What do they say? Even though they making robots, China said this is the robot. We just made a robot closest to human characteristics. Well, why are they trying to make robots who come on? I thought y'all had your own shit. Y'all supposed to make robots say they're better than humans, but y'all trying to make it more characteristics of the human characteristics, which come from the Most High. But anyway, but that was it on that.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Unless you want me to read those that received the mark, the next chapter over 14.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is
close out on that one.
This is Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or his hand.
That's where they pushed it from. NATO, B, EU, military, economic, and then use America as a harlot. And they go what the apostles elders say, the harlot's gonna burn. They're gonna destroy the harlots and burn the harlot. But that's the Most High's dealing. That's the Most High. Hey, he gets down using these nations against nations. He used Esau against us. He's gonna use Russia against America and the rest of these nations that hate the oil. Go ahead.
The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
Yep. So when all is done, Esau is going to pay for all the shit that he's done in front of the holy angels. Most High, I would shy the holy angels. After this, because there ain't gonna be no MOTB after America after Most High take America down to these other nations. That's gonna be yeah. But they're gonna have their part in the lake of fire, the burning brimstone, which is the missile. So you don't supposed to take that march. Even if you don't think it's the MOTB, you ain't supposed to take it because it's breaking the law. Anyway, anybody got the last word to say?
We're gonna wrap it up. Don't take the MOTB, man, because it's coming to that point to where there's only gonna be two choices, man, and it's gonna be you gonna suffer with the prophets, you're gonna suffer with the believers, or you're gonna try to make a small amount of comfort, your worst decision ever, man. Because that's what they're gonna offer you is comfort. Because there's gonna be so much turmoil going on, man. There's gonna be so much panic going on. All you gonna want is some comfort, man.
What do you say? That man that established on right, there's a way that seems right to a man and it leads to death.
Yep.
It says, life is death is set before you, therefore choose life.
Yep.
So they gonna think this is right, but it's gonna lead to death.
And that's why we know that the Lord's getting us ready, because he got us where we ain't really out here comfortable, man. We out here dealing with shit all the time.
Edge, yeah.
We out here where we got to make a move, and we got to make the right ones. We could be in a bad position, man. As prophets, even if you do got a little bit of money, it's more about not getting the ministry blame, man. We got to make sure that everything we doing, it glorifies the Most High, man. So, with Jake out here, man, all these Jakes that's comfortable, they ain't ready to go through no suffering, man. That's what we came here to do, man, to suffer with the Most High, Yeah. So if you ain't willing to suffer, then this truth ain't for you, And that's the problem with Jake. We don't want to suffer, man. We want to just be real easy walk. And that's how the Christians always be like, you know, they don't want to go through nothing, man. He's antichrist. They don't want to go through nothing, man. To the house of money, the house of murder. That don't mean that we forcing ourselves to go through something, but what we saying is that you in this truth, the Lord is going to test you, man. He's going to put you through stuff. That's the difference between being and these other people, religions and all this stuff. They get in that stuff and they expect their life to get better. You come in this truth, your life is going to get harder, man. So that's what you got to be prepared to do to go to for your life. So more responsibility, more people getting on your ass, all that. That's what you're going to face coming into the truth. Not no just you just coming in, everybody being all good to you and shit. It's not what this is.
We always say this ain't Disney.
Hell nah, man.
You know, this ain't
hell.
Six Flags, a ride on the park with candy shop and shit.
Yeah, man.
You know,
this is hell, man.
So that's what's going. Because shit, when the shit goes down in dark, you gonna want that spirit, that still spirit, where you know you can handle at the adversity. I think that's it. Hopefully, it was edifying. You know, always. Foremost and always, giving all praise to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakodash.
Rakata Yahushua, double honors to the apostles, the elders, bishops, great millstone, most citation, verses, word, flow, elect. Soon to be elect, water, tuning in, those that tune in, and to the next time, most high will. You know, hopefully we endure to the end. As always, yeah, and next time we'll do those curses against America. I mean, against America and the other nations. Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.